Hey, what is up? So we have a lady who graduated from college and got a bachelor's in a degree. They're gonna say it in the video, so I don't really have it in memory right now. But I think she chose a degree that wasn't gonna pay well after she graduated, and she got a bachelor's. She's probably not in debt now. She probably has to go to work in Walmart to pay that debt off. You know, who knows? Let's get straight to the video though.
Off after I graduated college, which I graduated in December, major in theater, minor in multimedia and film, woohoo. So anyway, they let me go last month, and I was just like I honestly, and still don't know how to like cope with that. Anyway, I'm trying not to cry, y'all. Started applying for jobs here and then cities close to me. I barely have heard back from them for real. So yeah, I see the job market is pretty ass. I see now what everyone is talking about with like it's hard to get a job. And even after me graduating, even after me getting...
It's hard to get a job when you major in theater. Maybe if you did this degree in California, where most of the movies are created, maybe you have that shot. Maybe you have a shot at a good career. Maybe, but you probably did this in a small town. Like unless you was planning to move to California or a major city like New York or something like that, that was a terrible idea, ma'am. And you got a bachelor's. You couldn't even get an associate's, a bachelor's, lady, a bachelor's. She got a bachelor's, man. But she probably has to pay like so much freaking money. She probably has to pay so much money, bro. Damn. I hope she says the state she lives in, so we could know like if she lives in a small town or not.
Getting a degree, most of the jobs that I'm actually interested with, like box office stuff and front of house management and director work, most of those jobs now, okay, they want you to have a degree, but do you have 4 to 5 years of experience? Have you used this software? And the software,
I think she should have probably taken a route of doing an apprenticeship or something like that, working under someone and then getting experience and then actually going to the field, because now you're in debt. You worked all those years and you went to school all those years. You probably weren't working like a full-time job, so you probably don't have enough money to pay the debt off, or you couldn't make enough money to pay the debt off once you graduated. So now you're stuck with the degree, but now you can't pay it off. You can't get a job. I think the thing is too is like they don't give students enough time to actually make a decision. Like let's say high school, like 4 years, freshman, sophomore, junior, and senior year. Like 4 years, and then maybe you get like a few months after you graduate. Now you have to sign up for classes, and then I'm like, what am I gonna do? Like 4 years is not enough time to understand what you want to do, especially if you're 14, 13. Growing up, you don't know what you're doing. Your mind is always changing. You're constantly changing your mind. What do I want to do? Do I want to be a doctor? Do I want to be a lawyer? Do I want to be HVAC tech? Do I want to be? Do I want to go into the IT field? Do I want to be a nurse? Like things like this. Like people are always changing their minds. So if you just give them a few amount of time to pick majors like movie theater, like what type of job are you gonna get with that? What type of job, ma'am?
is it's kind of like very private. Only the companies have this software, and there's no guide on it. There's no training.
All right, guys, so we got to react to this video that's going viral of this young woman that is breaking down on camera after she got a real-world reality check on the fact that her college degree that she worked so hard for, that everybody told her, hey, you really need it in order to make it in this world. She's realizing after graduating that, hey, my college degree is useless because she is struggling out here, okay? Struggling in Biden's economy in order to find a good paying job. And she is one of these individuals that thought that, hey, if I just go get any degree, that is going to open doors for me. And that is the furthest thing from the truth. And she found that out the hard way after majoring in theater, which is probably one of the most useless degrees that you can get. Okay,
It really is.
It is like the equivalent
What
of
is
a
that?
basket weaving degree. Okay, you're
What is
not
that though?
going
Why would you
to
go into that?
have much success in the job market when you went to school to get a degree that doesn't translate to real job skills. Okay, so I want to react to this woman's story, and I want to give my take on where she went wrong. Okay, because I think personally that there are a lot of college students that need guidance on how to navigate these types of situations, like figuring out what you want to do, what degree to get, what school to go to, how much money to spend. I think that that's the key to solving the student loan debt crisis, right? Is that kids just need to make better decisions, right? I don't think it's fundamentally bad that the government tries to invest in people to gain job skills, but that's not what's happening with college, okay? They're investing in kids to become woke activists, and they're not gaining
Lord have
anything
mercy.
out of it that is actually useful to society or a positive return on investment. In fact, I'm so passionate about this that once I slow down, at some point, I'm probably going to start a nonprofit to help mentor kids to avoid these types of situations, because I really do believe it's that big of an issue. So I want to talk about this, but before we get into it, we have to have a word from the sponsor of this video, Noble Gold. Hey there, investing feels overwhelming right now. .com, any kind.
So, had my graduation and then started my first full-time job, which I was working at a novelty store, a little adult entertainment store. I thought it would be fun. I got a crazy list of jobs that I would want to do because I think they're fun. But anyway.
Okay, so herein lies the problem. Clearly and obviously,
The thing is, what a job is, bro. You shouldn't look. You shouldn't really work. You shouldn't work to have fun. You shouldn't pick a job because it's fun. You should pick a job that could pay you the most, and you have the skills for, and you could enter that field. That's the job you should pick. Pick the job that could pay you the most money, that you have the skills to actually do it, and you can actually get into the field. Don't pick a job that's funny. If you want a fun job, do YouTube or Twitch or anything after you work. After you're done with work, you come back home and you have time, you could do anything else. But you want to do the job that is paying the most, that you have the skills for, you could get into. That's the job you should do. Something that's fun, might not pay you as much as a job that you have the skills for, and it has a huge job market, and you could get money quick. That's the job you should be doing. And if your leisure time, your second thing that you do, makes more money than your main job, that's when you switch to your second thing. But if your second thing is not making money, your second passion is not making money, then not passion, but like a job you're doing aside to make extra income. If that is surpassing your main job, then you should definitely switch to your second job, because your second job now is your passion, but now it's making money as your main job. That's my little take on it, you know?
this woman doesn't have a plan, okay? Which is the number one issue that I think a lot of these students have, is that they have no idea what the hell they're doing, okay? Why are you working at an adult novelty store straight out of college? Why? That's not a career, right? You can't make a career working at an adult novelty store. Yes, I know that you want to work a bunch of odd jobs and fun jobs, but that's not a career. That's not how you make a career. When you're thinking about which jobs you should try to get straight out of college, it is very important that you pick a job that is going to be in the field that you can make a career out of. Again, I'm not sure how you make a career out of working at an adult novelty store. But again, that is the problem, okay? These kids don't have a plan. So you go to school, you're told, hey, just get a degree. Don't actually figure out, okay, what degree do I want to get and what jobs is that going to allow me to get? Okay, what field I want to go to? No, just get a degree and then after that, figure it out. Well, that's what happens when you do that. When you do that, you end up in a situation like this where you end up getting a job at a place where you didn't need a degree to get a job at. You don't need a degree to get a job at an adult shop. Also, what I see as an issue, and I know some people may find this to be controversial, especially the pro-blackity blacks, it's the fact that she has these piercings in her nose, which are very unprofessional. Now, when you're trying to get into the workforce, you can't have all these crazy piercings and stuff. And I know nowadays, okay, the culture is changing, but I'm telling you, when you're in the corporate world, when you're in a serious job, you're not going to be taken seriously, or you're not going to be considered as a serious candidate when you have these piercings in your nose that make you look like somebody that's extremely unprofessional. Again, this is coming from somebody that when I got my first job, I was a square. And I don't say that in a bad way. I say that in a way where it's like, no, I actually went to work with suit and tie, even though they only required polos. But I was that guy that went to work with a suit and tie every single day, because at the very least, I wanted to show the people around me that, hey, I'm serious about my job, right? I'm serious about coming to work, showing up to work. I never missed a day of work. I actually never took a day off of work, even if it was snowing. Okay, these are the type of things that I think are important when trying to show that, hey, I take my job serious. I take my career serious. And when you have these types of piercings that are on your nose, on your mouth, on your eyelids,
tongue,
right? All
on
types
your
of crazy
belly
places.
button.
Tattoos, sleeve tattoos, stuff.
Face tats. Like, come on, bro. Face tats and you're a girl, there's something wrong with you. Lay off the weed. I've been saying this for months. As a lady, why do you need 3 piercings in your nose? Even 1 is crazy. But 3, 2, something's wrong with you. Why do you need 2 piercings? Why do you need 2 piercings in your nose? Like, what is the point of that? Is that fashion? Obviously, you guys claim this racism stuff. You claim racism, but the thing is, if a person looks at you and you have 3 piercings in your nose, I don't think it's because of your race. It's because your appearance looks like you're ratchet. You're going to cause issues. You probably talk a lot. You're not focused on your actual job. That's going to make someone not want to hire you. It's not, ma'am. Maybe, obviously, she could probably get her hair, like, done or whatever, braided. I don't know, whatever she could do to her hair. She could wash it. She could twist it up. And she could make her hair look good. She has nice hair. She has nice, natural hair. I love it. But the thing is, like, you look like you don't want a job. You look like you want to do other things than work a corporate job or just work in the career field. In my opinion, no.
Stuff like that. It just shows that you're probably not a very serious person. And I know a lot of people are going to find it to be controversial, but that is the reality. So, again, it's just not the fact that she didn't plan. It's also the fact that, you don't seem like a person that's serious about actually really getting a professional job and establishing a serious career, which is evident by the fact that, again, she's in this situation.
I think they're fun. But anyway, I was working at my first full-time job after graduation because, of course, you got to pay bills, you got to pay rent and all that other stuff. And really working at Sunset was my first, I want to say, it wasn't a 9 to 5, it was longer than a 9 to 5. But it showed me quickly the work-life balance. Really, we all trying to make money out here. You gotta make money, because how can you pay bills? How can you go out? I mean, like, everything is costing money. And now they're talking about this self-checkout at Walmart costing money. Like, it seems every little thing has a cost to it. I don't like that shit. But anyway, I'm working there. And I was working.
We all don't like it if you're broke. If you're broke, you hate buying groceries. You hate paying $200-$300 every time you go to the grocery store if you're broke. But if you got money, what's $300 for groceries? You don't care anymore because they're making enough money. The thing is not making enough money. That's why you hate it. That's why people hate capitalism, because they're not making enough money. And I get it. The thing is, the only answer is for you to make more money. That's the only answer. That's the only choice you have, because it's never going to change. People are always going to want to make a buck. And that's how it's supposed to be. Everybody has to make money, because if you have no money, like, what are you doing on this earth? You have to work to be able to eat.
There under, I want to say, poor management. My manager was awesome. She was amazing. But higher up above her, we had some not so nice people, and dealt with a lot of misogyny. Had to deal with kissing ass, basically, to make money, because it's like, I need this job.
But she can't keep a straight face. Like, you're joking. Come on. Where did you get that word from?
I
know you didn't get that word from college because you was majoring in theater.
need this job.
Well, I mean, newsflash. No matter what you do, right, you're going to have to kiss ass, okay? I remember working my first job, and this guy gave me some advice that I had picked up in Uber, because I would do Uber on Fridays and Saturdays, just as like some extra income or whatever, just for fun, basically. This guy, he worked at another company. He gave me some advice. He was like, listen, hey, early on in your career, your boss is going to ask you to do a lot of stupid stuff, and you're going to kiss a lot of ass. But you got to put your head down and say, yes, sir, or yes, ma'am. Go get the coffee, okay? Go print copies of, I don't know, whatever they want you to print copies of. You got to do that grunt work, and you got to do it with a smile on your face, because otherwise you're going to have a hard time getting ahead, okay? And that's just the reality of corporate America. Yeah, you got to kiss ass. It sucks, but that's what you have to do until you move up. And if you choose not to do that, then you're probably going to have a hard time being successful. That's just the reality of it.
Because I got bills to pay. And my friends will be trying to go out like some weekends. And it was a whole lot of like, no, y'all, I can't make it. I got work. It was a whole lot of no's. Like, I think I got some screenshots. It was crazy.
Yeah, it's called being an adult, right? It's called being an adult and having responsibilities.
And all the time they'd be like, dang, you know, that job was working you to death. And I was like, I know. I literally was working almost every day. I would only get like 1 day off a week. Sometimes 2, but for the most part, I was only getting 1 day off. And I wasn't even working like technically full time for real, but that's a whole nother story. That job scammed me. But anyway, I was putting in a lot of time only to be let go last month. So they told me basically I was fired March 14th. And I was just like, okay, what do I do now? And don't get me wrong, my plan after I graduated was never to stay in Statesboro where I am now. My plan was never to stay here because I know there's not a lot of opportunities for me. So I did start looking into some theater internships, fellowships, you know, full-time jobs if they offered it. I was looking into that, but most of them didn't start until June to August, or they don't start until May. So I still had a little bit of time, and again, I gotta pay bills, so I needed a job during this time.
Yeah, so again, like I was telling you guys, she didn't have a plan, because if you had a plan and you were really trying to get a job in theater, it was important for you to get these internships, for you to start to work on building those connections and doing the things that you need to do to secure a full-time job in a field that you actually want to establish your career. It was important for you to do that in college, right? You had to do that while you were in school. Had you done that in school, then you probably would have had a better chance of getting a full-time job in a field that, again, you want to be in, that you can make a serious career out of if you had done that beforehand. But since you didn't do that, now you have to try to do it now, and it's just not going to be as easy, okay? So with that being said, we're going to fast forward here to another part of the video where she's going to talk about her experience applying for jobs, okay? And unsurprisingly, she's having a hard time.
And we need to make money. So I started applying for jobs here and then cities close to me. I barely have heard back from them for real. So yeah, I see the job market is pretty ass. I see now what everyone is talking about with like it's hard to get a job. And even after me graduating, even after me getting a degree, most of the jobs that I'm actually interested with, like box office stuff and front of house management and director work, most of those jobs now, okay, they want you to have a degree, but do you have 4 to 5 years of experience? Have you used this software? And the software is kind of like very private. Only the companies have this software, and there's no guide on it. There's no training classes on this software. But it's like, yeah, you gotta have experience with this software, and then we need you to have experience doing this, this, and that.
Well, again, that is the purpose of an internship. That is why you need to know what job you want out of college before you go to college, So that way, you know, okay, these are the skills I need to acquire. This is what I need to learn while I'm in college. So that way, when you graduate and you're ready to get a job, okay, to go applying for jobs, you know, okay, well, I have all the skills. Okay, I'm qualified for these positions that require me to know all these things because I learned all these things in college. Again, that's why, again, it's super important to know before you go to college exactly what you want to do. In fact, I would argue that nobody should go to college unless they know exactly what they want to do and how they're going to get there, right? How they're going to acquire the skills that they need to get the job.
If you don't, man, you're going to acquire a lot of depth, and you're going to be always changing your major, and that's going to slow you down.
They want. I think that we should normalize kids not going to college immediately out of high school because these kids are 18, 17 years old. They don't know enough about the world. I think that it would actually benefit kids more to work a few years, okay, before going to college or university. Give them some time to figure out this is what I want to do and to create a roadmap around how they're going to achieve their goals. I think that would be very beneficial for kids. In America, we have normalized kids going straight to college right out of high school, and right. I think that is a mistake. That's also part of the reason why the student loan debt crisis is out of control, is because these kids are making huge financial decisions at 18 years old, not realizing that they're taking out a ton of debt to go to school, and they don't even know exactly what they're going to school for. They just know that, oh, wow, this is what they told me to do, that this was a good investment, not knowing anything about the investment. Nobody ever makes an investment without knowing, okay, what am I investing in, why, and what is the return on investment? What is the potential return on investment in the future? But that's what we're asking kids to do when we ask them to take out student loans. We're asking them to make an investment not knowing what the possible return on investment will be. And this is why we're in this disaster. And you only can feel so bad for the kids because, again, they're young. They made a decision at 17, 18 years old.
Right.
Well, how could I have that experience when I've been in college? You know what I'm saying? So I feel like with my post-grad depression, it's not coming from me being out of college. It's coming from feeling like I didn't do enough. Like, even though I did 4 years of college, even though I have a degree, a bachelor's degree at that, even with all of that, the world is still saying you're not doing enough.
Well, I mean, you're not. I mean, that's just the objective reality. You're not doing enough. Having a degree in theater is not enough. It is not useful. What is useful are the job skills that you acquired while in college, which clearly and obviously are not many, right? So, again, you know, a lot of people don't understand that a degree does not equal skills. It doesn't. Because I can tell you right now, there are a lot of people I know, actually a lot of smart people that do this, by the way. They'll go to college and major in something they're passionate about, like history. But yet they knew that, okay, well, I want to go into, for example, investment banking. So they'll take a bunch of business and economic classes and acquire all of the skills that they need to go into investment banking, but they'll major in history. And they'll still get the job, right? Because doing the job interview on their resume, they've shown that, hey, I have all the skills. My degree might not necessarily be in this field, but I've taken all the classes that I need to take, and I have all the skills to do the job, and they still got hired anyways. Because the degree is not really what matters. What actually really matters are the skills that you acquire. A degree can help you acquire skills if the degree specifically is for developing a certain skill, like, for example, software engineering, computer programming. And then you have certain other degrees that can be broad or broadly used, like, for example, get a degree in mathematics. But math is so important for a lot of jobs. You can go get a job in a lot of fields with a math degree, okay? Because it can be applied to a lot of different fields. There are not many fields that require a theater degree, and you're not acquiring any skills with a theater degree. So again, that's the reality of the situation here.
America is still saying you're not doing enough. So that's very frustrating for me because I felt like all throughout life Y'all, hold on, we gotta cut the cameras because tears can't be coming. But I felt like all throughout life, I had been hit with, okay, you accomplished this, congratulations. You're still not doing everything that we wanted. You missed some things. I felt like through every accomplishment, it was always still something that I was lacking.
Yeah, skills, right? You're lacking skills. And see, the worst part about this is, again, this is how the trap works. People like her, okay, they will go to school not knowing what the hell they're doing in regards to what they want to do, get some useless degree, realize that it's useless, and then decide to go back to school and get a master's degree. Take out even more money to go get another useless degree that they feel like they have to get in order to get a decent job. That's the student loan debt trap, okay? That's the student loan debt trap. And that's the sad part about it. I'm not saying she's going to do that because she, again, just a spoiler, basically saying, well, I'm going to go into content creation and other stuff, right? That's her solution, which, you know, good luck with that, okay? That's, you know, you didn't need a college degree to do that, but hey,
Right.
you know, good
But
luck
now you
with
have,
it.
I mean, now
I'm
you
just
have
saying-
the skills to, like, I mean, movie theater. I'm sure they probably taught her about how to use cameras and stuff like that. Yeah, she could probably do well in content creation, man.
Most people in her situation, they will default to going back to school, taking out more money to get another degree that's useless, right? They won't actually really figure out the real problem, which is the lack of skills, until they are $200,000 in debt, and then they're going to Democrats, boohoo-whining and crying, begging for their loans to be forgiven.
And that's hard. That's pretty
$200,000 a
tough.
house. Wow.
Anyway, again,
Yeah, so again, you guys get the gist of that, right? This woman is almost breaking down in tears because she made the wrong decision.
Hey, man, all power to her, though, man. Hopefully she can figure it out. Content creation it's a good way to go, but it's hard. Everybody's trying to do it. So, hey, it is what it is. I'm about to end stream. Thank y'all for being on.